There's a secret casino that exists in Las Venturas that is not located on the Strip. This casino has no icon on the map and is much less fancy than those found like the Caligulas or Caesars. In my opinion, it's actually the best of all of them because it has every single game, including pool, and you don't have to walk for a mile to get to the games from the door of the casino either. CJ's driving animations change as his driving skill levels up. For example, when reversing at low skill he will turn around and look behind, but with high skill he uses the mirrors, and the same applies for how he turns the steering wheel from using both hands to just using one. Not many people know that if CJ is fat, his dialogue lines will change to some rather comedic outcomes.
I'ma spend this on a good meal. Who a fat fool now? Lunch money. Fat man got a gun, bitch.
During the cutscene for Green Goo, there's an extremely disturbing glitch that occurs that distorts CJ's face in a nightmarish way.
I've tried, but I can't fight for shit. You better do it.
There are some magazines in CJ's mother's bedroom which have actual screenshots of San Andreas gameplay printed onto them. One in particular seen here displays CJ driving through Las Venturas. Despite many people thinking it's a myth, sharks do exist in the game. The spawn rate for them is so low that almost no players have actually encountered one. One YouTuber seen here found one after 16 days of searching, proving just how rare these are to find in the actual game. Standing AFK will cause CJ to sometimes sing along to songs that can be found in the game.
Young ho, never gonna get it, biatch. Express yourself, cause I'm from Grove Street.
On PC, by pressing the num keys 4 and 6 at the same time, CJ's head will turn with the camera movement, which is a feature that doesn't exist in the game when normally turning the camera. There is a pedestrian who can be seen taking photographs, but once he's finished, he decides to mysteriously walk into the water and will drown. You can find a variety of pedestrians that take photographs throughout the game, but this is the only one who seems to have this strange glitch. During the mission house party with OG Loke, Grove Street is attacked and thus the Grove Street families need to then defend it. Once you've taken out the first wave of enemies, another wave will spawn, but if you were to aim your weapon after the first wave has been defeated, the second wave will not spawn until you've stopped aiming. You can use this to your advantage by walking to a better spot before they end up spawning. There is a road sign in West Las Venturas which appears to break the matrix. One side of it is round, and on the other side it's square. In the mission Grey Imports, Tenpenny sends us to kill an unnamed character in a warehouse in Los Santos. This character is never officially named, but by digging in the game files we can see this character is named Andre. During the mission Burning Desire, where you have to save Denise, if you zoom in on one of the Vargos outside the house, you can see him talking on the telephone. The eye pistol. Yeah, because he's holding a gun. Some police officers know CJ by his actual name.
Give it up, CJ.
Fuck you, asshole.
We got you now, CJ. Mr. Johnson, you are under arrest. We got ourselves that Johnson kid. Hands behind your back, son.
Driving a car into shallow water as to submerge the exhaust pipes will actually produce bubbles. Speaking of which, the bubbles coming from CJ's mouth when underwater are actually dependent on how much lung capacity you have left and how much breath you have before you start to lose health. The baller car at the very beginning of the game will follow you no matter how far you go. Using a cheat menu to unlock all bridges means the ballers will eventually follow CJ all the way to the desert relentlessly. You have to give these guys props for their dedication, because they will literally drive all the way out to the desert. A beta map can be found in Mike Torino's cabin in Bone County. The interesting thing about this is that there's an island in the Bay Area that looks like it's a beta island based off of Alcatraz that was cut from the game in early development. There is a Grove Street family member pedestrian who is voiced by Sean Fontino, the official voice actor for Franklin in GTA 5. If you don't believe me, then take a listen for yourself.
Hey, dog, what's up? What's cracking? Your boy deaf or something? What's happening, man?
In the mission Stowaway, if you were to jump out of the plane without a parachute, you unlock a secret ending cutscene, which is only a feature seen in a handful of missions throughout the entire game for alternative outcomes.
Bullshit!
GTA San.
You can drive a ruined car though by picking up a girlfriend, and you need to use a minigun to blow up the vehicle, and before it blows up for the second time you need to walk into the girlfriend's marker, which then causes the cutscene to trigger and causes a strange glitch where you can drive these destroyed vehicles. Another example of an alternative ending to a mission I just mentioned a second ago is the mission Burglary with Ryder. If you wake the guy up from making too much noise upon exiting the house, you will find that Ryder has abandoned you.
They even call me bitch! Let's get up out of here. Ryder, where the hell you at, man?
What happens when you go past 9999 bullets on any given weapon? Well, by purchasing enough ammunition, you're able to completely get rid of the number counter in the heads-up display, giving you the illusion that you now have infinite ammo. But once you go back down beyond 9999, then the number will be there. If you walk into a certain clothing store, you can punch the cash register and money will fly out, but sadly none of this cash is added to your inventory. You can go into negative balance with a casino, and upon doing so you'll receive a phone call from the debt collectors, who will then send armed men after you.
Hey, Mr. Johnson, just a friendly reminder that you owe me money. Don't be a stranger. Mr. Johnson, I hear you're in the neighborhood. Some of my associates will be paying you a visit to talk about your debts.
The only way to stop this from happening is to eventually go back into the positive cash, although as this can certainly be annoying, Rockstar decided to make it so the debt collectors that come after you carry massive sums of cash. You can activate the police helicopter searchlight at night by hitting the caps lock button on PC. This is the searchlight that these police helicopters use to try and spot you during the night time. The thermal goggles are a lot more detailed than you'd think. They are actually accurately displaying temperatures of people's bodies. For example, if you were to shoot someone, you can watch the heat from their body slowly go down in real time. Sort of how it would be in real life, which is really interesting. By shooting your submachine gun immediately after bunny hopping on a bicycle, you can actually do a mega jump. The timing on this one is rather difficult, but if you manage to master it, you can use this to your advantage in a lot of situations. In the mission Reuniting the Families, the downed Grove Street member on the staircase will not take any damage whatsoever, meaning this is by far the fastest way to increase your weapon skills early in the game, because you can stand there and constantly fire at him and level up your stats. By throwing a tear gas at a large group of enemies, they will all start to choke. But if you then go behind one of the enemies with a knife and perform an assassination, strangely every single enemy affected by the tear gas will also suffer the same fate.